It's natural that we all get better the more we do things. You don't need to hold on to this current idea that you have. I just think it's really beautiful having a record of the thing that you want to do right now with that current skill level that you're at. I feel you. I feel you. You have a project in mind, but don't want to show the world until you get better at drawing, until you get better at writing, until something feels fine. By the end of this video, my goal is for you to have found even just a bit more confidence in taking the first few steps into starting your project. Okay, I'm not gonna push for you to start right away, but I am also not letting you wait until you get better at this thing. I'm gonna talk about this in terms of manga and comics, but I think this can apply to a lot of creative fields. So if you have an idea for a manga, but you want to like get better at your art before you start the manga, I'm gonna have to say we are not waiting for that. We also don't have to jump straight into the manga, but we're gonna start small. And when you start small, you could do like maybe a prologue of, if you're thinking of doing a big series, maybe you can do a short one shot, like a short prologue of your series. And in that prologue, it's gonna be the real thing already. It's not like a practice manga, it's gonna be your project. And we're gonna start it right away. And it's gonna be beautiful because this project is what you're the most into right now. And you're doing the best that you can at this moment. And as we're working on this small project, we're going to be improving. And by the time you finish the small project, I think we're going to do one small project only. And we're going to go straight into that big project that you've been thinking about for a while. And it's going to be amazing because I want you to try really hard not to judge your work, especially if this is something that you want to do the most right now. You want to do that thing first. Because as we're doing it, we're going to improve. And I just think it's really beautiful having a record of the thing that you want to do right now with that current skill level that you're at. And I want you to really romanticize this part of your artistic journey. Like you're not going to be a beginner again. But also, I feel like feeling inadequate about your own art is a whole different issue entirely. Like it's very subjective. If you don't like your own art, it's quite subjective. Like you could be like amongst the best in the world or worst in the world, but still feel bad about your own art. It's not really something that stays the same because it changes with your thoughts. And that being said, that's why I think you should start the project you want to do the most right now with your current skill level. I know. It's going to be good. So there's the present you who's come up with that idea, that idea is currently their favorite idea. And there's future you who presumably has better art. But how are we going to get there? How are we going to improve the art without doing the actual thing? Future you is not only going to have better art, it's going to have better storytelling skills, better story writing skills, and they're only going to get that if you have lots of practice before you get there. And the best way to practice is by doing the thing. So if you start your series now, by the time that you finish this project or like are well along your way with this project, you're gonna have improved so much. You're gonna look back at this moment right here and you're gonna think like, wow, I'm so glad I did this. You're gonna see how much you've done and oh, that's so nice. Say like you've worked on this project continuously for 1 year. You would have gotten like hands-on skills, like full on practice. It's natural that we all get better the more we do things. There's really no need to shame anyone for being bad at the start. They're not even bad. It's just so admirable to start already. And say a year later, when you're 1 year in with your project, you would have had the knowledge and experience of working 1 year on this project. And by then, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have new ideas because everything that you've experienced from then until the future, your decisions would have compounded and you would be able to come up with even better stories by the time that you get there. If there's anything I want you to take away from this video, it's that your best idea right now. You don't need to hold on to this current idea that you have. Say you start now, a year later, you would have been a year in with your project. And when that time comes, you would always have more and more ideas. And as you get more experience, it's pretty natural that the ideas would get better and better, and you might like it even more. Like, it's what you want to do right now the most, right? I'm really cheering you on. So yeah, actionable steps. I want you to get a note-taking app or pencil or paper, especially if anything came to your mind as you were watching this. I want you to write down the top projects that you want to do. If there are multiple, brainstorm even further of like what in particular that you want to do in each project. And just by thinking that through, I think you're going to pick your favorite one. There's absolutely nothing to lose. You're going to do your favorite one right now. If one jumps out at you, grab it. If not, pick one with the mindset that you're going to do all of them later. And after you finish this one, maybe a better idea would come up and you wouldn't choose those ones at all. Maybe you would choose one of them and maybe you would do all three eventually, just like you thought you would. You want to go into this with the mindset that you have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain by starting right now. Step 2, if you look at that project and feel really, really uncomfortable to start it, like I did, I want you to think of something short to supplement it. And you're going to start that first. So for me, it was a webtoon. And I didn't want to start the webtoon straight away because I had absolutely no experience and it was such a big project. I don't know what my work ethic was like. I don't really know much about what I'm getting into. So instead of going straight into a big story, so what I did first was I did a few 1-page comics and then I did a 2 17-page comics. So before starting this YouTube channel, I was really like, I found it really hard to talk to the camera and to make videos. I said to myself that like I'd do one series of reels because those videos were a lot shorter. It was a lot easier to tackle and finish. And by the time I got comfortable with that, I am starting the YouTube channel again. And it feels much better. You gain a lot of confidence by doing the mini task before you do the big task. The starting part is the hardest, but once you get over it, it'll become like a routine. So I want you to make it into your routine. So once you have the project that you want to do, I want you to break it apart into steps. For a manga, it would be like plot writing, like brainstorming, plot writing, name, line art, tones, blacks, like that. And I know this can sometimes feel like you're staring into an abyss, but I want you to kind of estimate how long it takes for each of those things. You won't know at the start. So the first time you do it, kind of record how long you take doing it, or kind of feel how long you take doing it, and maybe like set the timer, see how much you can do in 30 minutes, and try to do like just feel comfortable in that pace. And this is just for planning in the future. If you know how many pages you can do a week, then you can kind of plan ahead better. And you want to make sure not to set your deadlines too tight and also not to set your deadlines too wide because your work expands to the amount of time allocated to it. But also don't set it too tight so that you stress yourself out. Your feelings really affect how your project turns out. You can really see it. Like, you know what I mean? So once you have like the mini tasks broken down for your project, you want to decide how much you're going to prioritize it along with all the other important things in your life. So yeah, make time for it. Make however much time you need to make or want to make for this project because yeah, it's a lot of important things in life. Like put it in your calendar, like in the start of each week, revise the calendar and kind of think about how much work you want to put into this a week. And all that's left is to execute. That part is very important. Kind of switch off a analytical part of your brain and just create, like just do the best that you can at the moment. And I know you want to judge yourself, but you are quite amazing for starting this. This is so exciting. If you watched up to here, I'm so honored. Like the way that you want to start a project is already so amazing. If you don't mind sharing, I would love to know what project you were thinking of while watching this video. Drop it in the comments below. Check out my other videos if you like comics and art. Bye!